Kidding.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
just like our podcast. Let's go.
Oh
Exactly.
god.
You ever been
Anyways,
told
we
that you were born in a fucking dumpster? No. Kidding.
Yeah.
damn. What a way to start off the episode, guys.
For real?
Yeah, we're live now.
There
Oh,
we go.
shit.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
God damn. Anyways, yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Welcome to the Hot or Trash podcast, to our Christmas special of shit festivities. I don't fucking know.
You sound like Nemo who can't say anemone.
Shut the hell up. I hate you. God. Why?
Hey,
Man.
I'm just the one that thought of it. That's it. You're the one that made it into fucking reality.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm
Anyways.
saying, bro.
Do it
Yeah,
again,
well-
and I'll say it again.
Oh, please no. Anyways, we'll just go ahead and start up the stream with happy holidays, everybody. Welcome.
Hey, Chrysler.
Well, Merry Chrysler.
Merry
What-
Christmas indeed.
Yeah.
And Brian
Even
still
though-
has my Sprite backwards.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. If anything, Victor, just send me the freaking individual things by itself too, and I'll just hard place them onto these characters. Anyways, we'll figure that out next stream.
My name is backwards.
So was mine.
Yeah, fucking hell, bro.
Look, Victor's the only one that's the only correct way of being laid out. But I forgot to that if you flip these avatar sprites, they actually flip the text. Who would have thought? Anyways.
I'll fix them later.
Well, we'll see then. But anyways, what is tonight's topic? Tonight's topic is whatever fuck we want it to be now. This is like a whole
Today is the
freestyle.
Christmas present. Today is everyone's Christmas present. We're just gonna spew nonsense.
Yeah, it's like your favorite presents for everybody. It's just hearing the shit coming out of our mouths and you just sitting there and taking it.
Bro.
That sounded so wrong. I am so sorry for anybody else that has like a very weird mind that transitioned to that. Anyways, let's start off with the current fun icebreaker for this tonight then. What is the worst food item that you could definitely bring to a party?
My ass cheeks.
We debated this already off topic too. This is assuming otherwise that A, your ass cheeks are dirty.
Oh,
don't
my
wash-
bad, bro. I don't know what you're talking
Right.
about.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I'm not sure about eating ass at a party.
Yeah, that's something else. I think we're in a. Imagine you go to a Christmas party and it's just someone says, "Oh yeah, everyone here is eating my ass for the Christmas dinner with kids around too." Like, what the fuck?
No. This is an 18 and plus, dog.
You think there are people that actually have families that will give a fuck? At least around my Christmas party too. It's just everybody that it's in my family friends group.
Good.
This boy's spewing a bunch of words I don't understand either. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know either. Anyways, no, we're fucking Lloyd. Pick the actual food, not your ass. God damn it.
I don't know, bro. Shit.
Yeah, bro. Food is food, bro. Like, what
Oh.
do you want? What are you looking for?
I like all
What are you
that
looking
shit.
for, Mr. Bowie?
I don't fucking know, man. You just gotta start something up to be like, out of any food that you would see people bring, what is the one food that if you saw them bring this, you're just like, why the fuck did you bring it?
I don't know. I'm
Like-
Asian. We always have good food.
That's fair. That's actually is difficult then.
I don't know, bro.
Nah, for real, bro. You got some weird ass questions, bro. Not
No,
gonna
that
lie.
is true. That is true. All right. Then if that's the case, let's reword that question. What would you guys bring to like a Christmas party event?
Mocha cake.
Mocha cake? Ooh.
Mocha cake.
Hell yeah, dude. That shit is delicious.
Bring a
I'm like, oh.
Bring a fat ass steak.
Oh shit, what cut?
We're gonna cook the ribeye, bro. Is that a question?
You're right. I'm sorry. This is only a ribeye only household.
Incorrect.
You say there's a better cut, Lloyd?
Blasphemous.
Incorrect.
Oh my god.
You're lying to yourself.
I do like
That was
ribeye.
that was the most heathenous comment I've heard in my life.
Well, fuck you anyways. If anything, wait, Victor, whatever you cook your ribeyes, do you also like try to take apart the ribeye per se, or do you just cut it as is?
What are you asking me?
Oh, well.
This man
It's
don't
like-
know what he asking.
I'm like, I thought I was asking this clearly. In this case, whatever you finish cooking the steaks to, do you just eat it as is? Like you just bring it to the table and then people like cut their own portions out, or do you
Yeah.
like?
Fuck,
Oh,
I
okay.
look like.
A charity?
Alright,
Well-
fucking cook the steak, bro.
Okay, well then it looks like I'm the one that's actually much more like forgiving for people that, because I usually cook like 2 ribeyes and that's actually enough to feed like 4 people. Actually.
Nonsense.
Just went to Costco not too long ago and bought like I think it was 6 ribeyes or 8.
God, God damn, for how much and how much did they weigh?
I think it was like 100 and something.
100 something. Oh fuck.
No, we're gonna have a big steak party on Christmas.
Yeah. Damn.
God. Yeah. It was like I'm the one too that like every time that I do cook ribeye, as soon as it's finished cooking too, do you know the ribeye cap that's on the ribeye itself? I usually cut
Yeah.
that out separately. I cut the center first and then cut the cap as chunks
Mm.
instead. Just because I know the chunks are a lot more tender than the one in the center.
Yeah, I think people can cut their own meat, so I let them do their own
Oh my,
thing.
oh my god. Maybe it's just me trying to be courteous, I guess, man.
Was it really big? I mean, it doesn't matter, you know. Like maybe
I mean-
people want to cut them themselves. I don't know. Maybe some people don't like it being cut. Like me,
Yes.
honestly, I like to cut my own meat. I don't. When people cut it, they may cut it like too thick or too thin or whatever, you know. Like
I see how it is,
I
Victor.
much
Fuck
prefer.
you.
I much prefer
I'm
cutting
kidding.
my own. I prefer cutting my own meat.
Same.
Even though it's like Victor can probably eat like that whole. How much does like the ribeye usually weigh then? Like those large cut ribeyes.
I don't know, bro.
God damn.
Probably, I
If-
think the one from Costco, I think were like close to a pound each.
Yeah, my
Like a
boy
pound
Victor.
each ribeye. Yeah.
Yeah, your boy Victor here could literally just eat a pound of meat by himself. What the fuck?
Technically, it gets reduced, but yes.
It doesn't matter regardless. It's still a whole hunk of meat. It doesn't change the fact. I mean, people can eat whatever the fuck they want to. I too would also prefer cutting or eating my ribeyes like that by myself as well. But usually cutting it up is just easier for me, I guess, like prepping it otherwise. Maybe that's just me. And clearly it is.
Yeah, it is.
No, well, there is that, I guess. Well,
Like I said, you know, cutting it up is nice and all, but when they don't cut it the way you like it, then it just gets annoying more than anything. That's just how I see it. That's
Ah.
just how I see it.
mm,
See, because they cut it too thick, you gotta cut it up anyway. So like, well, what was the whole point of making them cut it up for you?
well, it's mostly because like the only rationale thing that I have whenever I cut things up with it is because it's usually eaten alongside with like other things that we already have out on the table as well, like other vegetables, salads, soups, and even sometimes like my dad brings in mashed potatoes in there as well.
Yeah, I do that too.
Mashed potatoes.
Well, again, that's just how I like it anyways. And usually I'm okay enough that like I cut, or at least my cuts are consistent. At least that's how I believe. I don't know. You tell me, Lloyd. You were the one there at the last White Elephant party.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Hell yeah. So there's that at
Potatoes
least.
were exquisite as well.
Hmm. We got a shout out to our homeboy Matt for making those oven baked potatoes.
Potatoes.
Tots.
Yeah. Ah shit. Should I have name dropped him? Oh well.
Nah.
Doesn't even matter, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. There's like a few millions of Matts that have that same name that people will try to figure out who it is.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think it even matters.
Yeah, fair enough.
It don't
Well-
matter.
Well, in this case, I just don't want to name drop people that don't want to be anonymized, that still want to be anonymized or some shit.
Maybe you should have thought about their feelings earlier, Brian.
Well,
right.
Oh, my bad. If I'm overthinking things. Welcome to the Overthinking Podcast. Here I am, is your host.
Yeah, no, I'm the host now.
we're
Get out
we're
of here.
we're
Yeah.
we're changing our podcast name already, guys. It's the
Damn.
Overthinkings podcast.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
thinking
god.
man.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I'm worse than the thinking man because at least the thinking or the statue of the thinking man actually had like profound thought. Me, on the other hand, I'm thinking about the same shit over and over and over again, trying to figure out like a million ways how I could solve this issue when that issue is already long past done.
That issue's been solved.
Yeah, the issue has been solved and I'm still thinking about it. Welcome to my everyday life. It
Midlife
sucks.
crisis, yo.
It's not even a
I
midlife.
think that's
Well,
not a
that's
midlife crisis. It's not a midlife crisis. I think Brian just needs help.
maybe. Who knows? I'm not. Unless a better help sponsors me.
He needs some help.
God damn.
Get him
But-
some help.
We need to raise mental awareness.
Speaking of mental awareness, we're gonna go ahead and make a segue here. So, to anyone else that, in this case, in terms of gaming news that hasn't really kept up, a 18-year-old kid gets sentenced life in prison for, in this case, blackmailing and hacking into Rockstar Game Studios over, in this case, leaking source code files of GTA 6. That is at least what the title tells you. If everybody took a few more seconds in their lives to just read it a bit further, it's actually a little bit interesting and even weirder than what they have stated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed,
Detail.
quite.
So, who wants to do that recap? Do you want me to say it, or else I'll start fumbling on my words? Ah,
Yeah.
fuck it. God damn it. All right, here we go. So, based on like a lot of the articles that I've read, there's a very common thing that is pretty consistent. The kid that's being trialed is in the UK, so he is nowhere near like any American state to be prosecuted for in that area, regardless. But he is still being trialed under the UK courts. B, he was already being under supervision of a current police investigation because of his prior hacking of Nvidia. That was also another thing that they already had a police like watching over him for.
It's been crazy, man.
Yeah.
Truly.
And C, the sentencing was due to the fact that even though it sounds like a lifetime, all it really is that they're just making him go to the loony bins for an undisclosed amount of time because of the fact that he himself has stated otherwise, that he does not feel remorse for what he did. And if he were to be let out, he would do this shit again and keep attacking Rockstar. So obviously, it feels like it makes sense to, like, fucking put him in the loony bin until he fucking, gets better. Because obviously, too, he's not going to be able to be rationally thinking enough to stand himself in court.
That's why he has a lawyer.
Yeah. So that's also another thing a lot of other people that I've read comments about too, that are trying to paint the argument that, oh, just because this kid was hacking, he gets lifetime sentence in prison, where cases like murder and like all this other like gross negligence stuff gets to get like, I don't know, 20, 30 years in prison. I don't know. It's a little bit ridiculous. What are you saying about this, Victor?
I mean, honestly, he's blown out of proportion because he's not like in jail. According to the articles, he's just in a hospital jail, which in turn just means a mental asylum.
Indeed.
Did Brian just die?
Oh, no. Sorry. I was muted because I had to talk to someone outside the stream. Oops. But, sorry. Could you repeat what you just said, or I had my headphones. Damn.
No.
All right. Oh, well, shit. I'm just going to
Yes.
assume other...
Anyways.
Yes, no.
Oh, well, my bad.
Anyways, he's like, I mean, he asked me what I think, and I'm like, everything's being blown out of proportion because the kid's not actually in jail. He's in a hospital jail, which is nothing more than a mental asylum.
Yeah. So, really, there's that too. And also, for the people that did make the argument of like, oh, because of this kid too, like murder is not treated as like heavily here in the US. Murder is treated as heavily in the US. And sometimes there are a lot of cases too where if you have murdered someone, your charges or sentencing is literally lifetime in prison.
Except when you're in California.
Depends
Yeah,
on
except
the context, though.
yeah. If it's like yeah, it's context is what really does matter. And a lot of people like to think that they know the context, but obviously everything is being taken out of context whenever they're trying to make their defense.
Truly.
Indeed.
So there was that as well. But despite like all this too, the funniest shit that, at least to me, it's still funny to say how this kid manages to hack them while he's under police supervision was that he was in a hotel room where they thought there was no way that this kid can get access to the internet. He has no computer, no laptop, not even like a phone that he can use the internet to do some shit while we're having him wait for his court hearing. Turns out he was able to hack into Rockstar with only an Amazon Fire Stick, some keyboards and mouses that he was able to get, and a phone. Somehow he got a phone.
Man, this kid's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like it's essentially the hacking equivalence that he MacGyvered the shit out of it. Which I want to really know how he manages to pull that off with just the Amazon Fire Stick, but that's honestly beyond the point then. If it's the fact that the kid with an Amazon Fire Stick was able to break into a multi-million-dollar company like Rockstar Games, which you would think that, hey, where the fuck is their security? What's their OPSEC like? And also, how and why did they let this happen? There was a lot of reasoning.
Like, everybody's like surprised that the kid was able to do to like hack into Rockstar with just like a Fire Stick, but nobody thinks the other way and say that Rockstar has some superbly shitty security for this to happen.
Right? Like you think about it, it's just like this shouldn't have happened in the first place, right? Like the whole notion that this was how they got hacked is something that's like, what? Nobody would think otherwise about that, or nobody is thinking about like, why is Rockstar security so poor about all this? And this is kind of less of a springboard of like, a lot of times you gotta be wary of a lot of these companies too, because of the fact that they may or may not have good internet security to begin with. Not even internet security. Internet security, they could probably have that shit locked down, but it's operational security is probably what got them. Such as the fact that their employees are not practicing good security hygiene.
Most likely.
Yeah, because the only way
a lot of the hacks that happen are usually through social engineering, not like an actual intrusion in like in their servers or anything like that.
Yeah, because like based on from what I could probably tell how this kid may or may have done it too, he probably in this case like hacked like the firmware of like the TV using the Fire Stick, because that Fire Stick might have like wireless antennas, so it has connection to the internet. So he was able to repurpose that to at least work as a simple like extension of a computer running like, who knows, maybe just like text command codes. But that's honestly enough too, where like a lot of times how these hackers realistically, how they actually hack into other companies too, is that these other hackers, they would be seen as low-level hackers just because they usually buy their tools off of another person that developed those tools, and they're the ones that are technically the high-level hackers, but they don't actually hack into anything at all too. They just make the tools and sell it to people. That's how they actually make a living. And on top of all of this too, usually the only way how this happens too is that it's going to be the individual person's point of view, how they're going to have to like get someone to be duped into allowing the hacker to gain control of their system, and then afterwards it just spreads out from there. So that's why the only thing that makes sense is social engineering, or at least he might have got someone that wasn't practicing it correctly. It could be from someone in the lower levels or upper manager level stuff that was not maintaining a key or maintaining clean security. Now,
yeah, I feel like a lot of companies don't practice good hygiene to begin with, so
yeah,
it's not surprising that it happens.
It's not surprising that it happened, but some things that you think that it's like it shouldn't have happened, but obviously it does, because of the fact that you can have the best internet security in the world too, but your weakest defense is the human part of the company.
always.
And it's actually
I
something
mean,
that I want to. Hmm, sorry, go ahead.
the same. It's not the same. It's all. It's as the saying goes. Your security is only as good as your weakest link.
Yeah, and it is the weakest link is ironically the same people that also run the company as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obviously like, oh, we just got to get rid of the people. Then that's not a company anymore, unfortunately.
No, just replace them all with AIs.
You're right. Replace all managerial position with AIs. If anything, they probably work more efficient than they do. But outside of that point, I do want to at least give a shout out to like another podcast called the Darknet Diaries, where this is also kind of where I learned a lot of like internet hacking. It's like when it comes to either recent news or like some legendary stories that have happened back then as well. But I
Brian
say
wants to
that
be a
other
hacker, guys.
no, I don't want to. I don't want to be on FBI's watch list. Anyways,
Too late. You already are.
oh man. But despite all that too, a funny story about that as well. One of the hackers actually was able to hack, in this case, the FBI director himself. Like he was able to get all of his information detail through, in this case, a very roundabout way of like actually getting his information by first calling like the phone provider that he had so that he can clone a SIM card. In this case, they managed to find like his personal phone number, which is something that people should not be having in the first place. Like, especially the FBI director should not have anywhere where his public phone number is made available. But on top of that, that also means that he had to figure that out by, in this case, not targeting him directly, but probably targeting the people around him that have poor operation security, so that they could probably track him down, find his email that they were sending it to, go to that email site, reset the password as multiple times, or just brute force your password in to get inside, whatnot, doesn't matter. But the only thing that actually made it work too was the fact that they were able to get his credit card, his public credit card that he uses, and it's essentially all he needed to like get all of his information about the FBI directors, from where he lives, his social security number, who his family members are, where they live, and like all these other sensitive documents that he had to sign in order for him to become an FBI director. And it was all found in his public email address that he hacked into. So, the world of hacking is fucking wild, to say the least, because it is a lot of work for an individual person. But honestly, that individual person, if they're willing to go through all that stuff to make a point, they will. Like, there's no stopping that too. Because a lot of times too, the hackers are mostly just like kids that are literally there just because for them this is thrilling, if anything. Like being able to like hack into another person's machine, do whatever they want on their machine while keeping the anonymity face that the internet provides. They feel like they can't get caught. But obviously that's if in some arguments that is actually a fallacy, that if you can get caught or not. It's more like you will eventually get caught is the correct word, is if you go down the path of like going hard into black hat hacking.
For sure.
Or just any type of hacking in general. But with the idea that I mentioned to you already, the story of the FBI director as well too, would you even say too that like, can we honestly keep, in this case, 100% operation security at all times?
Very extraordinarily difficult. I mean, like if you're trying to protect your entire network, I mean that's fine. But like I said, like we said before, the main weakness is people, and you can train people as much as you want. There are gonna be times where they slack off and then they suddenly just click on this random link that they weren't supposed to, and then get the whole network
Like compromised.
like a compromise. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's honestly too, it's not even the fact that they got lazy about it too. It's literally just the fact that a lot of times the amount of work needed to like practice operational security can be very demanding. And obviously, with that type of stress load, people in this case are willing to mess up, whether it is due to laziness or not. It doesn't matter. The people will eventually mess up too.
Yeah, look, it may not be laziness. It's just that people probably just are tired and then things just happen, you know? It's not necessarily laziness.
Hmm.
Work is not easy.
Yeah,
When your boss keeps getting on your ass all day, bro, it's like whatever, bro.
yeah. It's just like I don't care enough, and obviously it. I feel like that alone was probably. Oh shit, my bad.
Jesus, disgusting.
Oh
Nasty boy.
well, my bad. But yeah, I feel like we
Disgusting
did.
shit.
I feel like we did talk about that too, where sometimes like the employees like engagement to the company can be based on like, oh my god, I have to do so much things to like not even making sure that I keep my job, or in this case for job security, but then also to making sure that like the company itself doesn't get into trouble either. That it's also on my end as well. But it's
It's
like
on
it's the
everybody's
fact that
end.
yeah, it's on everybody's end. So it's not like the person is ever alone in all this, but obviously it is a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah. And even sometimes too, like a lot of the programs that we do use that promote like security and whatnot too, all of it at some point it could literally be thrown away if anything too, that you accidentally give away a piece of information that the hacker just needs in order for it to like work off of.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And it's like
Yeah,
that
sometimes
just
they don't
shows
need
you.
too much information to actually get into an account that they or get into somewhere they need to get into.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there are like a fuck ton of tools that can literally just allow people to brute force their way into accounts and then do it that way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too that like I think the way how like what this kid and like Rockstar Studios hack kind of showcases too is that information security and like securing of against like cyber attacks is just going to be a consistent cat and mouse kind of deal. But if anything, the advantage is towards the hacker itself.
Yes,
Mm,
because defending against cyber attacks is always a reactive thing. It is never proactive.
Yeah, because the moment
I
that
mean,
you decide to,
you can be proactive, and that's what a lot of people do. That's what all these security systems are in place for. But security systems aren't perfect, so there's sometimes a security hole that these hackers can go through.
yeah, and if anything too, a lot of times if you as like a security company publicly state that, hey, we're going to be proactive about our protection too, and it's actually impenetrable, that's going to invite a lot of other actors to try to like break in or break through your code.
Hmm.
Like it is one of those things too, and I think this is also very similar to how like I'm gonna use this as an example where World of Warcraft, they will in every now and then they will do like I'll say like either a 3 month or a 6 month ban wave of like a lot of World of Warcraft accounts because majority of them are just bot accounts. So
oh yeah.
and the only reason they do it that way too is so that it also gives like the people that make these bot networks or those bot accounts, it gives them like unequal amount of time, or they're just unsure of like if they get a ban wave, they don't know what they banned the bot for, kind of deal, or what behavior it got banned for. So it's like
Mhm.
if you're trying to be consistent with the bans too, then they'll probably catch on. They'll just try to fix like or adjust it every now and then too. But if you do it like on what's the opposite of intermittently? Just randomly, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not so often.
Yeah. Like if you just do infrequent band waves, that sounds better. If you just do infrequent band waves, it makes it, at least for the people that create these bot networks, a lot of it like trouble trying to figure out or try to set back up again, because for them they're just like, okay, so we're just gonna be coasting and band wave. It's like, ah shit, we gotta take time to set all this up again.
Mm.
Yeah. Instead of like if you were to do it frequently too, they'll just partially build it the way up and they know that it's a band wave coming and they already launched the new network in. So it's a lot of times like it's going to be a challenge, especially right now. And even artificial intelligence is making like scammers actually like harder to detect now. Just because half the time the scammers can literally just go to the AI to say, hey, give me a convincing email to send to this person with a file attached. And obviously, this actually happened to one of my coworkers in the company I work for.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, if anything, he got duped into buying, like in this case, a gift cards. It's those gift card scams, where he thought in this case he was getting texts from the CEO, or in this case, our boss in general. Like he thought he was getting texts directly from him. And then it never occurred to him to be like, so why did he text you instead of just outright just calling you about all this? And also, have you talked with directly about this, which is in this case our boss's name? I'll just throw that in something else.
Oh,
But
name drop, bro. This is a
I'll probably
company.
bleep it. I'll bleep it out in the post credit here, or during the edit here. I'll just bleep that
It's
out.
okay. There's like a million around us.
But it's fine. I'll just bleep it out in my case. But regardless how this happened to, he ended up in this case spending, I believe it was almost to $1,000 worth of gift cards.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Are you sure he got duped? He did not stop and think about this at all.
He did not stop and think about it until he called, in this case, our accountant lady to say, hey, this credit card is like stopped on me for all this. Can you take a look at it? She said, sure. And it's like, then that's when the questioning came through.
Right, but what was he like? So he's just buying gift cards? Like, how did he get persuaded into that?
I don't know. He really believed that he was talking with the CEO.
Jeez.
Has your boss ever told you to buy gift cards?
Nope. Or if anything, never buy them on. I should probably bleep that out too. But anyways, but if anything too, he says like never buy it out after so and so company name. Does not matter, right? If he himself did not personally email you or directly just straight up call you to buy them, don't ever assume otherwise. It's like that kind of thing too. Like for us, common sense wise, it would make sense being like, why is our boss telling us to buy gift cards? The hell?
That's weird. Because whenever my manager tells me to buy things, I always double check
Yeah.
with them, even though they told me in person.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's the fact that, like, I guess for your personal reason, you at least double check to it, even though he said it to you in person. It's the fact that the guy did not decide to double check, even if it came from a text message.
No disrespect, but that's just a lack of self-awareness.
That's pretty dumb. I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
yeah,
that's not pinning, like, deducting, like, the information that was given to you. What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
CEO texted me. Most CEOs are way too fucking busy to even do anything.
Well,
Let alone
Brian
run it.
works at a small company, so there's that. Either way,
Yeah.
that's not the point.
Well, then again, he should know if they're actually buddy for even to do that.
He should at least talk to the CEO. Then, if that's the case, like,
hey, did you send me this like text message earlier? Then
yeah,
that could have solved something. No disrespect, but that's just what could have been done to avoid the situation.
No disrespect too, but that really is fucking dumb.
Yeah, it is what it is too. And then if anything too, like I was just hearing in this case, our boss going fucking absolutely ham about that in a phone call. And I'm just like, Jesus, I'm like next door.
I would go full ape too.
Like it's like he was throwing out all types of things towards the guy too, like being stupid to the R word, all that shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like I said, the boss is actually really chill, but obviously he does not tolerate stupidity.
As he should.
literally got fucking scammed out of like $1,000.
Yeah. And if anything, too, I think the worst part about it, we don't know. I don't know about this too, if he used a company card or his own card. It sounded like it was a company card because he had to talk, in this case, the accountant or head accountant for that.
It does sound like a company card if your boss is getting mad.
Yeah. So I'm assuming company card, which is just like a bigger yikes.
Is he still
Yeah.
working there?
I do not know, and I don't think I'm purview to that information.
Damn.
Good.
I'm the engineering team. If anything, no one in the engineering team did it. That's all I'm saying. To be fair, though, most of the engineering team are literally out in the field. We don't have time to deal with that shit. And if even
You
we
don't have
did,
time to get scammed.
yeah, we don't have time to get scammed because outside of this, we only answer our phone if it's based on directly from our clients or in this case, our head engineer. That is it. That is all we ever answer our text to, even though we use our personal phone. I'm actually good about that. If I see something, I'm just going to ignore it until like I'm done with my shift, which is like at 3 a.m. And even then, I'll just read it and not answer it. God. Well, 3 a.m. based on like wherever the fuck I am in the part of the USA. But
Makes sense.
yeah, that is in this case the example of like right now. This is not to say that scammers are like getting that good too. I could probably chalk this up to that like the average age, at least in my company, is like 30 to like or 40 to 50 years old. I will say that. I'll be generous about the age range here. 30 to 50 years old. So a lot of times the scammers are obviously going to target old people to begin with, right? Especially the ones that usually they get their money from like their retirement checks and whatnot, or retirement checks, or just from other like passive incomes that it's a much easier to target them because they have that going for them. And it's also like old people are, let's just be honest, they're not as tech savvy as we wanted. There are people that are very tech savvy. Like they were like on top of their game whenever the new wave of technology was coming through, but not all of them are like that.
Not at all.
And it's just like a lot more disheartening where scammers like intentionally target them because of that fact.
I think scammers just target literally anybody, bro. It's not specifically old people. It's just whoever falls for their trap.
Yeah, whoever falls for their trap. Which if unfortunately it is mostly like the elderly that fall for it. So, but in this case, that's why in this case I do like watching videos of, in this case, like anti-scammers groups or anti-scammer activists too, where they're going through all this hoops and trouble too to like actually like take down these scammers, or finding ways to just annoy the shit out of their day that they're just like, fuck it, I give up. They're probably still like scamming people regardless, but right on with new wave of technology too, it's just going to make it even harder. There's even more tools out there too, that AI power tools that are supposed to detect if these are scams or not as well, if they use AI tools to generate this. like you can immediately like see the cat and mouse chase that we already had previously to now being applied to the AI front now.
Soon AI will try to find other scamming AIs.
Yeah. And if anything too, it all started off where there's that one kid that made a AI tool that detected if a student was using AI to generate their essays. People in the short run would hate him for that, but he provides a very useful tool in the near future of like research and development.
Yeah.
Just because he provided, in this case, a platform for us to start detecting stuff that is generated by AI. To all the students too that are using it, don't use the fucking AI as a fucking crutch. Just be better writers and whatnot to write. Just know how to write better. God damn it! I'm the engineer here as well. I fucking had to handwrite a lot of my damn reports. If I had those AI tools, I would most definitely use them.
Damn, this man.
Look, I have no, like I said,
this boy can't write.
Look, I would at least say I can make morally good decisions. But when it came to, in this case, about like what makes my life easier, I would have used the AI tools. And a lot of people would not blame me. I will even state on the record too. I may say all this shit too. But believe me, if there's a much easier path in life as well too, people are most definitely going to take that. I would as well.
Mhm.
But obviously, I have to be very careful when I do that.
Indeed. Correct.
Correct.
Remember
So-
the saying. Remember there is a saying. There are no shortcuts in life.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, too, I think right now it's like AI itself is like, despite me saying that, like it is still in its infancy too, it is actually slightly maturing enough too, where like there's actually really good use cases for them now too. Hell, I might actually use it for the stream as well too, but it's mostly like I needed to like put bullet points on articles that at this point are either too long to read, are paywalled gapped, or they're just so annoying to read through because of the fact that it's mostly like the writer itself like self-inserting their own opinions and pieces about the topic when all I really care about is the topic in question. Like, yeah, we got tools for that now too, which is kind of crazy. Hell, we even got to the point too where we can have Muscle Man say a lot of anime lines.
Please.
Like, that shit is awesome.
Just for
God.
your information, Brian here knows like almost sounds like exactly like Muscle Man. So Brian, why don't you go demonstrate some line?
He's like, you know who else is the honored one? Imaginary technique, purple. Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
Like I said, Muscle Man is by far my favorite character from the regular show, just because of the fact that it's all types of ridiculousness, and he has so much of like voice sample lines too that it is actually the AI is able to 100% recreate all of the lines as if the voice actor himself were to repeat those lines in different context, mind you. And so in this case, that's why you also hear like all the Patrick, SpongeBob, and Squidward's like AI voices actually sound really good because the data sample for all of them is like massive.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like
baby.
you see like how long SpongeBob is running too. Yeah, it's gonna be a no-brainer, or it's also gonna be an eventuality that it was gonna happen.
hmm
You know who else likes a good time? Mama.
It's like, no, you gotta say that with the much more like using the
I know, you
back
do,
part
but
of your throat.
I'm just saying.
You know who else likes to have a good time? My mom. Oh man. We'll probably go into the fact too. Like I probably that is the only voice impression that I'm actually like way more confident in myself doing. It's only because of the fact that it's a lot more hilarious, just because of how over exaggerated I have to do it.
Yeah, dude. I can try
At
to
least-
do a Murloc, but I don't have yogurt.
Well, shit. But
Copyright
oh jeez. But
strike us.
don't worry, Blizzard does have the power to do that. They're already like eating the shit bed right now, or
Damn.
they're eating where they're shitting right now. So that's what's happening over at Blizzard.
On the
Man, they eat
toilet.
the shit bed.
They're eating from the toilet, bro.
Oh god.
Brother.
Oh my god. Oh, if anything, that wouldn't be surprising too. That was also another allegation that people saw when working at Blizzard.
Yeah.
I'm
eating
still-
shit, bro.
I'm still saddened by the fact too that like apparently the rumor that people were stealing breast milk from their break room was not true. I don't know why I was sad, but at the same time, I love how
Yeah,
a lot of us
boy,
kind of just
really-
accepted
I
it.
really wanted that to be true.
You're weird as fuck.
I know.
No.
I really wanted that
Okay,
to be true.
all right. It's mostly because of the fact that like how quickly we were to accepting that, despite the fact that it may or may not have been true. We all unanimously agree. It's like, yeah, that sounds like something that could happen there.
That's just weird, man.
But
I'm just gonna say
Well,
that's weird.
at the
as
same time, I don't blame 'em, bro. With Blizzard, with all the shit that Blizzard goes through, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually happened.
yeah, like Like this is again like not the fault in this case of a lot of people working in the game industry. Hell, already the game industry is already dealing with already rough times if they ever happen to go through cyber attacks. Take CD Project Red for example. There was literally like they got attacked by a ransomware, and because of like they didn't really want to, you know, pay the ransomer like the money that he was asking for, it literally wiped all of their work that they were working on in the game.
Hmm.
which also which also kind of explains in a way as well too why there was the announcement that they did for the next Witcher game that it's not going to be developed on their proprietary engine that they were working on or that they were using initially, and it's going to be Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Most of you, yeah. And it's like one of those things too that like I don't know, how would you suggest or going about like what in this case do most game developers, especially for me and you, as we're, you know, we're now indie devs here. We will talk more about that once we have a workable product in demo. But
Yeah.
what, speaking from that experience alone too, like what would be the one thing that you can see game developers can like try to push for to like making sure that they protect themselves from at this point this scary future of cyber attacks?
Well, number one thing is an off-site backup, which
Just like
clearly it shows that a lot of these companies don't have.
Mm.
Essentially, if you want to go extreme, it's a off-site backup is just someplace, a server that's not within the same building or the same network as your main servers.
And I guess the only way that
Um,
you could connect up to is like literally you have to physically connect that offsite server to the main server or to the main network.
it's a very controlled connection, so you can't just like it's
Mhm.
not linked to your main network. It is controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Usually VPN, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
But um, offsite backup is what people need to ensure that all their files remain safe, even in the face of ransomware. You delete your main server and just use your backup. That's essentially what it is.
Right.
If you want to be even more safe, it needs to be located on a different geographic region than where you're currently in.
Because at least it makes it so that the attacker itself is now like focused on trying to find an address that's like
Well,
within local.
it's no longer about hacking. It's also about
Mhm.
if a network or something happens in your specific region, it doesn't affect your backup. That's all it is.
Gotcha. Whether it be from attacks or just like natural disasters that occur.
Natural disasters, something like that. Yeah.
So even with that measure too, I still do you think right now, even with those measures, it doesn't feel like it's enough?
Honestly,
Mm,
I feel like that's the best way because if something does happen, you have a backup.
Mhm.
And that's really the most important thing here. Or else you'll be like CD Project Red, who I guess lost their entire game engine.
It's like either their game engine or literally all the asset files that they have created for the games too, which I
Yeah.
believe they did have a backup for sure, but it was like a backup to probably an older build, like really older build that they probably had to do from scratch again.
Maybe not. I think maybe their backup could be still on site, so their backup could have been affected by the
Oh
attack.
shit. Oh shit, that is true.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know
Hmm.
because if you do have a backup and you back up regularly, this shouldn't have been an issue. Sure, you got attacked, but it's not an issue because you have your backup.
Because at least you could push the button saying, well, we're not letting the attacker get shit, so just nuke the whole system button.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Because I think right now, then too, I guess what you're suggesting too, as well too, or what you're suggesting right now, it's just gonna probably incur a lot more cost in the game development space, which obviously right now,
Well, if you want security, if you want to ensure your IP
yeah,
is safe, bro, you got to do whatever you can.
yeah. Where if anything, it
Everybody's
should
always
be like,
concerned about cost. Everybody's concerned about cost, but what happens when you actually lose the thing that's going to make you money?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
what
It's like,
then?
Yeah,
You know,
because if
spending spending millions of dollars now will be, I mean, it'll be a lot better than losing, potentially hundreds of $1 million in like revenue in the future. You
yeah,
know.
it's probably for the best that way too. Then too as well, just because it's going to have to force people to try to think of long term like development or long term implication of what this means for their own like next production cycle, right? What they're going to
Mhm.
have to do to incorporate like new operational security, internet securities, having all these backup servers, make sure every one of their staff is like trained to like be able to handle like operation security for their end and even out of company as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but the most important thing in my eyes is that backup,
Hmm.
because if everything else fucks up, you'll still have your offsite backup unaffected.
Yeah. Well, right now, at least like the good part about at least for all this too, despite like the tragic attack that CD Projekt Red had to go through, they were still able to release like a banger of like an expansion to their game, and I think that's their last update to the game now, as they're going to be probably working on the next project. Probably learned a lot of lessons from working on Cyberpunk 2077. Honestly,
Hmm.
Mm.
which now we go back to like I know there's like other game companies before. Was there like a previous story about like another game company that got hacked and that hacker was threatening to release the source code?
I'm sure there was. I actually don't remember though.
Hmm. Because oh no wait, I remember there was like a riot hack that occurred a while back. Like
Yeah, 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 yeah.
there was someone that oh yeah, no, I remember correctly though. There was someone that supposedly hacked into Riot that revealed the source code of League of Legends. But as soon as someone actually looked at the sample of the source code that they got to, they're like, wait a fucking minute, this is just a source code for like a outdated build that's no longer supported. Nobody runs
Yeah.
this shit. So if anything, that person was just full of shit.
Joke's on you.
If anything, the Riot did detect that there was an attack as well too, but they probably didn't get anything at all too. Might have got like spreadsheets, but that's about it.
Mhm. That's funny.
Yeah. And to top it all off too, especially for Riot right now going into the future, League of Legends at this point in the latest dev blog that they posted to, next year they will stop providing support for Windows 7 and Windows 8 operating systems for League of Legends. Which in this case is probably best thing for everybody. The only people that are going to get fucked over by this are people that are playing the EU West server, EU West region. Because I guess for whatever reason too, that was also a joke that was being thrown around in the League of Legends subreddit too, is that the entirety of EU West is in shambles now. I'm
Hey,
like,
anybody in
Jesus.
chat, if y'all still use Windows 7, comment.
Comment below and just to say why.
Or Windows 8, comment too.
Yeah. To be honest though, if there is anybody that is willingly using Windows 8, tell us that you need help.
Blink twice if you need help.
Blink twice.
God damn. But hearing all that too, I think the best reason why I heard too that why Riot is kind of leaving, or in this case, letting go support of the older operating system is literally for the fact too that it will probably improve the performance of their client immediately.
They should.
But I think it also provides like additional security for the client itself too, where they're no longer having to dedicate resources to probably protect like clients that are running off of Windows 7 or 8 operating systems now. Maybe.
Mhm.
So I don't know how client making works in general. So for those that do work in the game dev sphere that also worked on developing clients, I too would like to know how all of this is done, or if there's like a really good video that kind of just showcases how a lot of the basic functionalities of these clients are done.
Mm.
And why all of the, no matter what they design to, why all of it still leads back to the shop. I'm looking at you, Genshin Impact. But it's fine anyways, because apparently China is about to fucking restrict or about to like tell the MiHoYo verse as a company to like say, hey, we're gonna enforce you to implement features where you're gonna limit the amount of spending people can do. And it's essentially they're trying to prevent like even more like spending into a gacha based game now.
Nah.
Who cares, Lloyd? Do you even spend? Actually, yeah, hold on. That's a good
No,
question.
I
Did you
don't.
even spend money? Okay, you're free to play like Leech.
No,
You're
just
fine.
kidding, I did.
Oh my god.
Free to play Leech.
Look, that's look. That is in the words of the whales that play these types of gacha games or these free to play games that give you the option to spend money. Yeah.
I'm sorry that the game's free to play.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I'm sorry that the game is free to play too. And if anything, I played Grand Blue Fantasy. I am also a free to play Leech. I have never spent money on this fucking game at all too. And if anything, all I do is that I praise our whales. I praise to the Japanese overworked Japanese salarymen that keep this game alive or keep this game free to play.
Yep.
Yeah, because without those overworked Japanese men, we won't have the luxury to play free to play games. At least for some free to play games.
Really.
Truly. Although I say that with quotations because America is like getting mixed signals of what that truly means. Besides Riot, I guess.
Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've already kind of had a talk already about like battle passes and whatnot from a previous topic and whatnot. But yeah, there's going to be a whole Chinese law that I don't even know if they're able to enforce that or game companies are willing to enforce that law to like the American audience. But however, this also applies to other American games that are also trying to publish their games in a Chinese market. Notably, Blizzard is going to get hit hard by this. Especially with their game Diablo Immortal. Where apparently that game alone, probably back in like, I believe the last time I checked was around August or October, somewhere between like the fall quarter. That game generated $2 million a month.
Jeez.
And majority of that income is coming directly from China. So China,
I mean, they have a massive population over there.
Yeah, they have a massive population. Every one of them are fucking lonely single Chinese men. I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, technically they are. That is a truth.
Yeah, that is a truth, but statement. But anyways, but if anything, right now the new policy of law is going to just really just state that any games too that are being published within the Chinese market needs to have these restrictions on the basis of the CCP. To Winnie the Pooh. I mean Xi Jinping.
Winnie the Pooh.
Quick context of the story. There's a lot of jokes too that they were comparing the leader of China to Winnie the Pooh. And he took great offense to that, where he censored anybody else that made mentions to that from that point on.
I see.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, honestly. But if anything, Victor, knowing this is coming from China too, that apparently they have like more stricter laws on like preventing people to like spend money needlessly on gacha games. Do you think this is still like a more or less good move or still like a dumb move in the end?
Dumb move for what, China?
Just like in this case too, that like of at least how all these free to play games, how they make most of their money. Like, because like obviously this is only enforcing it in like Chinese game markets. Who knows that this is going to have like a echo effect that every other country is going to do this? Because I know in the EU laws, they made it very strict on, in this case, loot boxes, for sure.
Well, loot boxes are fine because I mean, banning loot boxes are fine because that literally is gambling.
Yeah, it is
But
gambling.
people are spending a ton of money just to potentially get something.
Yeah, potentially get something. But in all aspect cases, it's more like it's still gambling, but it's not as bad as true gambling, if that makes sense too. At least
No,
with
it's
like
just
the
as bad.
yeah,
Because
it's just
with
as bad.
true gambling, with true gambling, you have to win. That's by law. With
Mm,
loot boxes, they don't have that same law, so you're gonna
yeah,
lose all your money.
yeah, you're gonna lose all your money because it's all in a fucking game, no matter what, I guess.
It's not it's not counted as gambling, so they don't have that same protection.
Fair enough. So, with that, at least we'll. I don't know. If anything, this does bring like a at least an interesting question, man. And thank you to the chat saying it feels dank, man. Yeah. Well, think of it this way: if there's any gacha games in China, you guys are in danger now. MiHoYo verse is a little bit like has a noose tied around their neck right now.
I'm sure all game companies in China do.
Yeah, because immediately after they made the announcements that they were gonna like potentially make policies or laws that in this case restrict like more purchasing of like gotcha stuff too, the shares of Tencent and NetEase dropped like more than 15%. And I'm like, holy shit. And that's just only on announcement of a proposal.
Well, I mean, it goes to show what their businesses actually are. So
Yeah, it was marketed towards
any
children. So
any serious issue, any I guess law that comes into play like that will affect companies whose majority income stream comes from free to play games.
yeah, from free to play games, especially for kids that are trying to hide their like purchasing from their parents.
Oh.
Hey,
Either way,
you don't have to.
Point I'm trying to make.
This man can't even speak.
Point I'm trying to make it. Never mind. I don't have a point anymore.
Shit.
You lost his point, bro.
Oh man. But if anything, you don't need to feel bad about yourself. Lloyd, you're a grown adult now. You can spend all your hard-earned money on try to get your waifu.
Yeah, don't worry. Your future kid's gonna do that for you.
We're gonna be sitting right next to each other, side by side, and it's like, you got her, you got him. No, I lost my 50-50. It sucks for you, kid. I won.
And then he takes your credit card and buys another one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's essentially what's gonna happen. And then he loses. It's like, you dare use my credit card and you still didn't pull her?
I'm not an asshole, son. You disappoint me.
Discipline.
Pointy.
Disappoint
Discipline right now.
No video game.
But yeah, it does go to show too that a lot of like the free to play and all like the purchasing model is in this case intentionally try to like target after like people that obviously don't know better about spending money. Hell, there was even
Unfortunately, happens to be kids.
yeah, and if anything too, this isn't the first time it's happened too. Do you remember the Minecraft servers?
Excuse me.
Like those
But
public
yes, I remember
Minecraft servers?
I do.
Like public, yeah, there's those public Minecraft servers where you could outright pay for like server power or like pay for custom items that make you stand above the rest.
Nah, yes, I know somebody. I know a kid that made like a lot of money per month just hosting a Minecraft server. I'm like, bro, that's wild.
Yeah, and then you realize what it is. It's just like, what the fuck?
I'm like, bro, why are kids spending money on nothing?
Yeah, it's literally that. They're literally wasting money on nothing. And I'm just so bewildered because I just watched a video about the downfall of Minecraft. And it's because you had servers that were just perpetually doing this. And there were people that were actually buying it too. Like, what?
Oh, yeah. I know a kid that I read a story about a kid who made like 200 grand a month from Minecraft, hosting a Minecraft server.
My God.
That's crazy.
It didn't last long. It did last long, but he did at one point peak like 200 grand a month.
Jeez.
A kid? Like a young, like teenager?
Yeah,
kid?
like 17-year-old, something like that. He was in high school.
Wow. Jeez, bro.
Yeah. And it just goes to show too, like how far people are willing to do just so that they could feel that they have the superior edge over everybody.
It sounds like a little bit of insecurity, yeah.
What was I doing in high school? I was playing fucking Ghost Recon Future Soldier, trying to climb up that ladder.
Oh yeah.
We were all playing League of Legends at that time.
Oh, you're right. KW, we were all trying to climb that fucking ladder. Except I sucked ass. Yeah, I sucked ass. I had someone that offered to like play ranked on my account. I just said refused. I should have probably let him, but at the same time, I didn't feel like it, honestly. It was already like, nah, let my account die. I don't care. I don't plan on playing ranked.
Let my account die.
Yeah, for real though.
It's like illegal legends. Actually, that is a good question too. That is a very interesting question. Would that mean League of Legends would be even more difficult to play in the Chinese market then? Because like it's already difficult enough too that like a lot of kids too, they can't actually play on there unless they have a proper ID. And even then too, they're maxed out playing for like 2 hours a day.
Yeah, it's not just League of Legends, just any game in general.
Oh. I don't know what, I don't remember. Did I actually fucked up saying some things here, Loy?
I don't know what you were trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Oh, well, maybe that's
what I'm trying to say.
Oh, well, I was hoping if I was making coherent words. Oh, well. Anyways, to reiterate here, because of the Chinese government pushing, in this case, limiting purchasing of like any of these free-to-play games, such as like more gacha, loot boxes, and potentially battle passes being part of that talk as well. Just outright limiting the individuals purchasing in the game in general. I wonder how much this is actually going to affect League of Legends, because a lot of times too, they honestly just cater more towards the Korean and the Chinese like servers, which I'll be honest, I don't blame that they would cater to that.
True.
And that's where a majority of the money
are.
Yeah, where the best players and where a majority of the money comes from.
Korea.
So with that alone too, I'm honestly interested to see like how much of that actually fucking like messes with their model of like monetization.
Yeah, only time will tell, bro. I mean, we can talk about it all we want, but we won't know until it actually happens.
Yeah, because all it is still talk. So there's that at least.
Indeed.
But with that being said, I feel like this is like a really good point to start ending us off on. I at least want to end it off on because I would like to at least give people the time to say, but go celebrate Christmas with your friends and families.
Family?
Yes. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. You are Asian.
No, I'm not. You have no proof.
Who the fuck is named Loy?
Yeah, what? I never heard of an American named Loy.
No, that's American, but I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like, bitch, wait a minute, Loy, weren't you an immigrant?
Hey. How dare you? I better go back to California, bitch.
Yeah, Brian, you're an immigrant too.
Anyways, Merry Christmas, y'all.
Yes.
I'm the only one from Texas here.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is factual.
Yeah, indeed it is. All right. Both of y'all say goodbye now so I can end the stream here.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Chrysler. Eats a lot and get fat, just like me. I'm fat.
Let's go.
Let's go.